Celebrating the 350th anniversary of the founding of Jamestown, 114 men of war from 18 nations mass in impressive array off Norfolk, Virginia. Among the visitors, Britain's new carrier, Ark Royal. The carrier Boisbello headed the six-vessel French contingent with the flag cruiser de Grasse, one of the newest warships present. Holland's battle cruiser, the Seven Provinces, represents another power influential in the winning of the New World. Italy, homeland of America's discoverer, sends the San Marco. Canada and nearly every other nation of the Western Hemisphere is represented, along with NATO allies and countries that help settle the New World. Secretary of Defense Wilson and top Navy brass review the huge armada from the cruiser Canberra, passing down the 14-mile row of warships and saluted from above by flights of jets. The first international naval review on this side of the ocean in half a century. An awesome display of modern sea power in all its might and majesty. The good ship Mayflower comes back to America. The Mayflower II is filmed from a Navy blimp as the modern version of the famous 17th century bark nears Nantucket Lightship, nearing the end of a 53-day Atlantic crossing, 14 days less than it took the Pilgrims in 1620. The ship is a gift to America from the people of Great Britain. First stop was Provincetown at the tip of Cape Cod, where the Pilgrims landed 337 years ago. Then on to Plymouth, where thousands of townsfolk and tourists cheer the arrival of the 180-ton vessel with its crew of 31 men. Historic Plymouth Rock greets the 92-foot replica of a famous ship, and an historic trip comes to an end. Indians met the first Mayflower, Indians met the second one, too, adding a note of authenticity to the scene. A descendant of the elder Brewster of Pilgrim fame greets Captain Allen Villiers, the Mayflower's skipper. Latter-day Pilgrims come back to Plymouth Rock, and America says, "Welcome, Mayflower II." The Army introduces its newest air defense missile, the Hawk. Designed to meet low-flying attackers at short range, the 16-foot rocket fills a gap in America's current defense network. It will supplement the longer-range Nike missiles. Self-guided, the Hawk homes in on its prey with lethal effect, as shown in these Defense Department films. Poznan, Poland, scene of the riots which touched off that nation's bid for a measure of independence from Russia, becomes the host for a peaceful trade fair with 30 nations participating. Excavation machinery from Germany is busily at work on the fair grounds, while heavy machinery from Russia is strongly in evidence. France sends its motor cars, but it remains for the American pavilion with its luxury and consumer goods to attract the crowds. Here with its exhibits, the United States tells graphically the story of its own way of life. In the city of the bread and freedom riots, American freedom and know-how carries its persuasive message. Following another French governmental crisis, which saw the ouster of the Mollet administration, 42-year-old Bourges Manoury arrives at the Élysée Palace to meet President Coty as the 22nd Prime Minister since World War II. He confronts the same economic problems and the continuing Algerian War that beset his predecessors. All curves and plastic, Monsanto's House of the Future is open to the public at Disneyland. The four-wing plastic shell makes a snug and solid 5-room dwelling designed for a family of 4. And coincidentally, it's a fairly typical family of 4 that gets first look. A family food center to store atomically irradiated food. A work surface that includes a combination supersonic dishwasher and storage unit. The kids' bathroom has a wash basin that adjusts to fit the height of the growing child. Throughout, the emphasis is on new uses of plastics in every area of family living, pioneering the use of features that may be standard in 10 years or so. A look at the future. Looks good, eh? Indians from the northwest coastal tribes of Washington and British Columbia gather at the Lummi Indian Reservation near Bellingham for the tribal water carnival and war canoe races. The canoes are polished, and heap brave warriors are off to the races. 11 men in each of the 16 canoes, each one fashioned from a single cedar log. Paddling like crazy at a stroke count that would make pale-face Yale or Harvard rower blanch, the red men streak along the 3-mile course at a 7-mile-an-hour clip. Canadian canoes cop the honors in the 2-day carnival. The Chinook from Chilliwack won the semifinals, and the Chehalis tribe won the finals in Island Queen. Heap big victory.
This is a true story. It concerns arson. A fire was started in an office building. A bag of coins melted inside a safe. $25,000 in savings bonds burned to ashes. But the owner had a record of their serial numbers. He wrote the Treasury Department, and they sent duplicates. No loss, not even the interest. He was saved from financial emergency and could start his business again. Now there are thousands more stories like that one in the files. And they prove bonds are the safe way to save. Hurricane, fire, flood, explosion, tornado, nothing can touch them. And you're not so apt to spend the dollars you keep in bonds. Buy them regularly on the payroll savings plan where you work or the bond-a-month plan where you bank. They'll pay you $4 at maturity for every $3 you invest. Now that's a good deal, isn't it?